Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Kent Holste Podcast, right here on the home of the Kent Holste Podcast, right here on YouTube. I'm so glad that you decided to click this link and join in the conversation, as today we are talking about thinking positive. You know, the slogan that I've said since the beginning of my podcast has been think and be positive. You know, it all stemmed from a very tough divorce when I first had my first marriage. I was depressed. I felt like I lost everything that I worked hard at. I worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, just so my wife at the time didn't have to work. I wanted to be the person that supported the family solely. And I didn't believe in food stamps. I didn't believe in getting assistance. I always have had the mindset that I would rather work hard than to just be lazy and take money away from people that, quite frankly, could use it more than myself. I've always tried to think positive in that aspect, that I am capable of supporting my family and I am capable of bringing in the income needed to be that supporter. Now, through time, because of, the unfortunate situation of a car accident, I wasn't able to work as hard as I used to. So, the positivity of that changed when I realized that I was no longer able to work 2 to 3 jobs, that I can barely get through 1 job, really was devastating to me. It really affected my life. It felt like, to me, I was letting down the person I was with. And it was hard to be positive because of that. And how do you get through these moments like that when you need to be positive about life and what goes on, but you just can't find it and you just don't think it's possible to be positive anymore? And it just creates more negativity, unneeded negativity. And so, there's other times in my life where I've needed that positive outlook on life. And unfortunately, it took many, many years for me to finally be mature enough to realize the significance of being positive. When you're being disrespectful to another person, when you're trying to destroy another person's life by creating things that are not needed just to hurt someone, just so you can feel better about yourself or whatever you need to, that's not being positive. When you're in your workspace and you're in a break room or wherever, and you hear your coworkers talking negatively about another coworker, your boss, whatever the case, that's not positivity. When you're driving down the road and you see someone who's homeless or sick, and you think to yourself, oh, that person holding that sign is probably just a fake, or they're just going to use the money that they get for drugs or alcohol. They're not really going to use it for what is really needed. That's not being positive. There's so many times in our lives where we choose to be negative. We choose not to be positive, and it does nothing good for our life. Why are we here on this earth if we're not meant to be positive? It seems like this world would rather be negative, create drama, and hurt other people than be positive and encouraging to other people. And obviously, I'm not perfect myself. I've made mistakes in the past where I wasn't positive, where I wasn't a good person, where I didn't take into consideration other people's feelings. I was selfish. I was miserable, and I took out that on other people that didn't deserve it. I said things that I regret. I hurt people by my emotions that didn't deserve it, whether it have been my parents, whether it be the people that I've been in relationships with, or whether it be just friends in general. I wasn't positive to them, but yet so many people in my life have been positive and have tried so hard to be that inspiration to me, but I have failed to return what they have done. And that's why it's been so important in my life to try to change things so I can be a better person to people that I know and to people that I don't know. That's why this podcast is so important to me, is because I want to bring awareness to people who don't necessarily think about these things. I want to bring awareness to the people who feel alone and feel trapped in the world because of what people have done to them. Because I've been in that place where people try to be destructive, try to ruin your confidence, and try to make it to where you don't feel like it's possible to be positive about your life, what you're doing with your life, how you live your life, what goals that you want to have for your life, where you want to see yourself 15 years, 20 years, 50 years down the line. There's people who want to be not positive only to benefit themselves because they want to feel more powerful, more bigger than you. There are people out there that want to see you fail because they don't want to be positive about your life. They don't want to see positivity in your life. They would much rather see you fail than succeed. And that is sad to me. It is sad to me that there are people out there that want to live a life like that want to live a life being negative. And what is the purpose? So we go back to what happened and how it got started with this think and be positive. I was so down. I was so upset. I was so depressed that I needed to find a way out. So wherever I could, I would put it on sticky notes. I would write it on notebooks. I would write it anywhere possible. So anywhere I would go, I would see it. And believe it or not, it helped. Because every time, no matter where I was, whenever I was feeling down, whenever I was feeling upset, all it took was seeing those few words and it lifted my spirits up. Think and be positive. It worked. And it is something that I have kept in my mind throughout these years. And it is something that I will continue to use for the rest of my life. And it's because it works. When you set your mind to something, that you think is not possible because the devil inside of your mind is telling you it's not possible to be positive. The devil wants you to think negative so he can destroy you. So the devil can go through you and get in every part of your mind and control your actions and do everything that is destructive so it ruins everything. But you have the power. You have the ability to prevent that, those evil thoughts, those evil things from happening by being positive. But you may ask yourself, how can I be positive when I'm going through a divorce? How can I be positive after I've been through an unfortunate situation of being in a toxic relationship? How can I be positive after being raped? How can I be positive after having a child that was unexpected and I don't know what to do with my life and what to do with that precious child's life? How can I be positive when I've lost my job? I've lost my house. These are all tough situations. They're hard to talk about. They're hard to deal with. They're hard to even fathom. But yet we have to think positive in the midst of these things. We have to find a way to stay positive and to live a life where we know we can overcome any obstacle. Being positive is not easy. Now, for most of you who have been with the podcast or who have known me, y'all know that growing up, it wasn't easy for me. I was bullied a lot from grade school all the way till high school and even as an adult. It's not easy. When you're being bullied, it's hard to find that light. It's hard to find that way to be positive when people are trying to break you down and bring you to your knees. With all these situations that I've given as an example, what have you done to stay positive or to be positive? What have you found that works best for you? In the comment spot, go ahead and start putting in your thoughts about this. this topic. Now, as always, just a friendly reminder, if you're going to post something, make sure that it's positive and encouraging, and it's something that actually happened in your life where you made positive change. Don't make it about someone else. Make it about yourself. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. I don't want to block. I don't want to delete people from these comments. I just want people to be motivated towards other people. Because let's face it, there's people out there that need this positivity, that have been through a divorce, that have been picked up, that have been a victim of various different situations that are very and extremely hard to talk about. But all it takes is for one person to share their story of strength. What tools? This is a better way of saying it. Post the tools that you used to be positive. What steps did you take in your life personally? Whether it was seeing a therapist, whether it was going to church and seeing a pastor or a deacon or an elder, whether it been talking to a best friend, whether it been taking a road trip or doing something that you've always wanted to do to kind of ease your mind, whether it been going to a support group. And then from there, what steps did you take? I'm talking about the positive things that you did, and talk about the benefits of what it's done for you. Talk about what it's done for your life and how it has made you a stronger and better person. Talk about why positivity is such an important thing to you and how you demonstrate that positivity towards other people. Maybe you do positive things by working at a shelter, a food pantry, a soup kitchen. Maybe you go and do positive things by going on mission trips to different countries, and you share the positivity of sharing the message of Jesus Christ. Maybe it's the positivity of doing blood drives and donating plasma or whatever to help people. These are all things we can do to be positive. These are all things that we can do to create positive things for others. Maybe there's something I haven't touched base on that you would like to talk about positivity. And maybe you would like to share how you were raised and how it was ingrained into your mind about positivity. What did you learn growing up about positivity, and how have you continued to use that lesson in your life today? Because for me, I was raised in a great home where my parents were respected because of their positivity throughout the community, throughout the church, throughout the school. My parents have impacted so many people because of their positivity and their encouragement. And because of that, that's why I am the way that I am today. I wasn't always like this. But after certain things happen in your life where you lose everything that's important to you, after everything that you've worked so hard for gets taken away, after doing things that you later realize you should have done differently, you realize you need more positivity. You realize that there may be times where you think that you need to be positive and you feel like you're executing it and you're doing well at it, but then you realize you need to do more of a better job. You need to tweak it just a little bit more. I've said this many, many times. We are not perfect. We were not born perfect. And there's so many people who expect perfection. Each and every one of us are unique. We all have our own special ways of showing and displaying our positivity. Don't let today be another day where you let positivity be an afterthought. Make today be the day where you show people the kindness in your heart. Let today be the day where you go out into the world and you step foot outside your house, your apartment, wherever you live, and you say, today, I am going to be more positive than I've ever been in my entire life. Today, I am going to be that person where I display positivity, where I give positivity, where I live positivity. And if something gets in the way, I will push through it and I will continue to be positive. I will continue to think positive. And yes, there are going to be moments where you drop the ball. while where you're not positive, but that doesn't mean that it's the end. It doesn't mean that for the rest of the day you continue to be negative or be destructive or whatever. You get back up. You believe in yourself. You believe that no matter what, you can be positive. You can be encouraging. You can do whatever you set your mind to and be positive. Because the longer you wait to be positive, the longer it is going to take for you to change your life so everything in your life will be positive. Because we often think to ourselves, why is nothing good going on in my life? Why is nothing in my life being positive? It's because you're not being positive. It's because you are not living a positive life. It's because you're not being positive towards other people. You are doing the exact opposite than what you should. So change that. So once again, if you have something you would like to share about your life story about being positive, maybe it's been through a traumatic situation where there was an accident or whatever the case, and it was hard for you to be positive, share how you got through it. Maybe it was a loss of someone in your life. Maybe it was the loss of your husband, your wife, maybe even a child. Maybe it was a job situation. Maybe it was a relationship situation. There's so many examples of times where positivity just wasn't in your cards. The hand that you had just wasn't the best. But is that really the case? Share how you overcame. Share how you changed your life for the better. Share how others have changed their outlook on you. How your relationships have changed because of your positivity. Do that today. And as always, remember to think and be positive. Do what you can today, not what you can't, to be positive. And I believe in you. Don't you think you should too? And if you see someone who served our country, whether it be our military, police, fire, or even the hardworking people within our medical facilities, thank them. Give them an elbow. Tell them how much you appreciate them. You never know how much they might appreciate that one random act of kindness. We are just coming off the heels of one of the worst tragedies that we've seen in some time here in Texas, involving 19 people being third and fourth graders in Uvalde, Texas. This country needs to change. This country needs to help people that are not in the right state of mind. The people that are hurting, that are depressed, that are angry, that don't have positivity in their life. We need to help them. We need to support them. We need to make them know that we care. And no matter what bad choices they've made in the past, it doesn't matter. We are all able and capable of forgiving. That is positivity. So let's do that today. Let's be more kind to one another. Thank you for listening to the Kent Holste Podcast right here on YouTube. I really hope that you have a fantastic day. And of course, today is Friday, so I hope everybody has a great weekend. And make sure you be safe and enjoy this holiday weekend as we go into, I do believe, it's Memorial Day. So let's thank our veterans. Let's think about our past veterans who are no longer with us. Let's thank them for all that they do and show appreciation because they deserve it. These people that gave so much. And at times they may have had a lot of uncertainty of what their future may be because of war and what was going on. But they gave the ultimate sacrifice. They had no choice but to think positive. That's why these men and women are so significant. That's why these men and women are so amazing. And we should be giving thanks for them for giving us the freedom to live in this country that we live. So thank you, veterans. We appreciate you and we love each and every one of you. For me, Kent Holste, thank you for tuning in and God bless.